everybody, welcome and thank you for tuning in. You are watching The Buzz. And today we are talking about the most recent update that Tesla has sent to the fleet, which is 2019.12.1.2 or 12.1.2. And, we just wanted to go over a few of the highlights of the update, just to showcase a few of the items that I believe are some of the more important aspects of the update. So without further ado, let's turn this thing around. We're going to go over the actual update in general, and then we are going to go through in detail some of the more important aspects of the update. And that is going to be on-route battery warm-up, navigate on autopilot, and supercharging. So I did some fairly detailed clips of those three items, so please don't tune away. I know it's a little bit of a lengthy video, but trust me, it'll be worth it. There's some good information that came out of my testing in those three elements. So let's turn this around, go over the update in general. I want to show you a few things and how to set some things up. Okay, so just so you note, here it is. It is version 9, 2019.12.1.2 or 12.1.2 for short. Let's take a quick look at the details of the update, and then we're going to go over some of the settings for each and every one of these so that you guys know how to set them up and make sure that you're using them correctly as you get your updates and want to test them out as well. So right here, probably one of the more important ones is navigate on autopilot beta, and which is, of course, the navigate on autopilot can now make lane changes without requiring the driver to confirm the suggested lane change. To turn off the lane change confirmation, go to Controls, Autopilot, well, why am I going to sit here and read that? Let's just go ahead and show you how to make sure that your navigate on autopilot is set up to make lane changes without confirmation. So let's back out of here. We're going to go down into our settings, and we're going to go to Autopilot, and we are going to make sure that you have this selected, which is navigate on autopilot beta. We're going to customize it. And here you can see you can have navigate on autopilot automatically start every time that you want to navigate somewhere. So that's a cool feature. This way you don't have to go in and mess with it. The button is still there when it does pop up, but this just makes it a little bit easier. And here you have your speed-based lane changes. You can disable it. You can do mild, average, or mad max, which I've never tried, so we're going to have to check that out one of these days. And then here is one of the settings that you do want to set, and this is the required lane change on confirmation. If you want to have the confirmation set, you set it to no. I'm sorry, you set it to yes. If you don't want to have lane change confirmation, you set it to no. Some additional information here. So it says by default, navigate on autopilot requires a driver to confirm automatically initiated lane changes by pushing the turn signal in the intended direction of the lane change. You may choose to disable this for automatically initiated lane changes, but you must be aware that lane changes may happen quickly and at any time. Disabling the turn signal confirmation does not alleviate the driver from their responsibility to keep their hands on the wheel. And I can't make that any more clear than they have because I've been in situations where some goofy things have happened. So just make sure that you're paying attention. So there you are. So we are not confirming the lane change, and we want to have the notification either chime or vibrate. I have it to both. I sort of like that setting. So that there, folks, in a nutshell, is how to make sure that the car is set up for navigate on autopilot without lane change confirmation. All right, so let's go back into the details of the release notes. And what else do we have? This is a huge one. Your car is now able to charge up to 150 kilowatts peak rates at Tesla supercharger stations. This is a big deal, folks. You want to talk about reducing time at the superchargers if you're on a road trip or just needing to, pop in and out of a supercharger. This is going to be a big deal, and I think you're going to see a lot of improvements surrounding this in upcoming updates as well. But this is a big one, and we do a video covering this aspect later on in this video. And we also have your car is now able to maintain torque and power for longer periods of time when driving at high speeds. Another cool update was that you can now see the details of an update before you actually update the vehicle. So I know, but it sort of takes the fun out of it, right? Because we're always wondering, okay, hey, what's in the update? And you really don't know until actually the update has occurred. But now you're going to be able to go in and see what the update is. And actually, this is going to be an on-demand update. What's supposed to happen is Tesla is not going to release the updates like they do today, where they do it in batches. Basically, what's going to happen is everybody's going to get the update at the same time, and it'll be your discretion whether or not you want to update the car at that given time. So I think that that's very, very cool. You know, usually most of the updates that come out are fairly well tested, but again, there are some critiques that usually happen afterwards. For example, advanced summons, it was released, but then it was pulled back because it wasn't just quite right. I thought that we would have that in this update, but Elon said that, you know, it's not quite ready. Give us a little bit more time. And of course, your Tesla Atari games, some new features added in there as well. But another big deal here is the en-route battery warm-up. And along with the faster supercharging, this is going to significantly reduce the time that we have to spend at superchargers. So whenever you navigate to a supercharger station, now there's the key. You have to navigate to a supercharger. You have to navigate to a supercharger. This isn't going to happen if you're just driving to a supercharger. You have to physically enable the navigation to route you to a supercharger. And what happens is it heats the battery to ensure when you do arrive at the supercharger that it's at optimal temperatures to charge. And this is supposed to help reduce the average charge time by 25%. That's significant, folks. So with the improved speed of supercharging, right? So we have some improved speeds of up to 150 kilowatts. And now the en-route battery warm-up, what scrolled a little bit too much. The en-route battery warm-up is going to significantly reduce our time at the superchargers. This is huge because I think that's one of the biggest questions that I often receive is, well, how do you charge your car? How long does it take? And, you know, are you going to be able to drive across the country in a reasonable amount of time? Well, with these updates and more to continue, the answer to that is absolutely yes, you could do that today, but these updates will actually decrease the time that we have to spend at superchargers, and that is huge. So some additional things to note, additional language support, that's also in the menu. Big one here, web browser, Google Chromium. They updated a web browser to improve performance and security. That is huge. And then we have tire pressure monitoring system and auto steer stoplight warning. Your car may warn you in some cases if it detects that you are about to run a red light while in auto steer. Let's go into the main menu, and I want to show you where the software update is located. So main menu, and you can see right here at the bottom, you have a software update. In here, it will actually give you the update when it's available with all of its release notes. And here you can tell right now, I'm at version 9, 2019.12.1.2, as previously noted. So this is just another cool interface and improvement that they did make in the Tesla updates. Also to note, there is no setting or visual confirmation that I was able to receive or find in the menu for the en-route battery warm-up. It just does it based on the navigate to the superchargers. All right, so let's dig into the details, and I hope that you enjoy the video. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We are going to check two things. We are going to check the supercharger improvements to make sure that we're at least getting somewhere close to the 150 kilowatt peak charging at the supercharger station. And then we're also going to navigate there so that we can check the en-route battery warm-up. Now you can see that my battery is already completely warm. And of course, with this weather, it typically is going to be that way. But there's obviously something that the car does to warm that battery up and put it into a state to accept the faster supercharging. And if you look here, it basically says that it reduces the average charge time by 25% using this. So let's go ahead and navigate to the nearest supercharger and get this thing charged up. As you can see, We're down to 18%. That wasn't on purpose, but it just so happens to be that way. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this. You can go ahead and navigate somewhere, and it will tell you based on your amount of charge you have remaining to pull into a supercharger, or you can simply just tap the screen and come down to this icon where the lightning bolt is. That is a supercharger. Tap it. It will automatically bring a list of the nearest superchargers up, and you just select the one that you want to navigate to, and it will go ahead and navigate and bring you to that supercharger. Now, the one thing that we don't know is how close to the proximity of that supercharger does that warm up of the battery begin to occur. But we're just going to see if we can achieve the close to 150 kilowatt range during the supercharging process, and that I think will identify if the actual en route battery warm up did occur. So let's check it out. Okay, so we arrived at the supercharger. We're at 14%. There are two cars charging right now. We have one Model X and one Model S. I pulled into a stall, so I'm not paired up with anybody. So let's take a look and see what kind of charge rate we get. All right, we got some weird error that popped up, and it said something with a charger. Try a different charging station. So let's see what actually happens if this thing starts charging or not. There we go. Calculating. I believe this is a 12 stall supercharging location with only two cars charging, me being the third. I can't imagine that I would only get 88 or 89. It's going up a little bit, but very slowly. You think I'd have a little more juice here. There we go, 100 kilowatts. I mean, it's still phenomenal. I mean, look, you're at 420 some miles of charge per hour. That means that if you are at 0%, you're going to charge your car in well under an hour. It says 50 minutes remaining. Now, of course, we all know that on the front end of the charge, it typically takes a little bit, and then on the back end of the charge, it typically slows down as well. So within that time range, 50 minutes for a full charge, I'll take that any day. I would like to see it get a little bit less than that. 35, 40 minutes. But, this battery is actually pretty low right now, which I think is causing it to be a little bit slower, but regardless. And I'll just give a shout out to those who have placed an order using my referral code. Our current session here of 54 cents. I do have some free supercharging available to me, so thank you for those who have been using my referral code. I do truly appreciate it, and I hope you're enjoying the same benefits as me, where you're not having to come to a supercharger and pay for those miles that you're using. So thank you very much. And if you are looking to purchase a Model 3, I'm going to go ahead and link down below my referral code that you can use and share at your leisure. And I always say, if it's not my referral code that you're using, use somebody's. Don't throw away the 1,000 miles of free supercharging, or currently right now, the 5,000 miles of free supercharging that is available until May 28th. If you order an S, 3, or X, you will get that 5,000 miles of free supercharging. So typically I do not supercharge. I have a charger at home, a wall charger at home, and I usually charge every evening. But today we were out running around and I did not charge the car last night for some silly reason. So it's just nice and convenient to have, those free bank of supercharging hours in your back pocket. So thank you. And look, we're already up to 114 kilowatts and 465 miles of charging rate per hour. That is fantastic. So we are going to wrap it up here. I think I have enough charge for what I need to get back home. And I just wanted to show you that we were down about 12%. So we've charged, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most. So 25 minutes remaining. We certainly weren't here no hour by any stretch of the imagination. But, this is still pretty astonishing to see how quickly, the car is charging nowadays. But what we do have to test, and this will be a later video, is the battery warm up en route versus not having it en route, and see if that makes any difference. But there you have it, folks. That is what the new supercharger is all about. So for those of you who do not know, all you have to do is set up a home destination and a work destination. And when you're getting ready to navigate to those two destinations, if you swipe right, it will automatically bring you to your home destination. And if you swipe down, it will automatically bring you to your work destination. So just a nice, easy way to get to your destinations without having to type anything in. It's nice and neat and convenient. So what we did is previously, as shown in the video, I had already set navigate on autopilot to automatically turn on when I navigate anywhere. This way, not that it's a big deal, the button still comes up and all you have to do is select it, but this way it is already selected. You don't have to do it. What we're going to do today is we're going to check really two things. We're going to check lane change without confirmation, and then we're going to check how it exits a freeway onto an off-ramp to another freeway. When I've done this before with confirmation, it always seemed that it took the car a little bit longer to change lanes than I would like. And sometimes there's a small window of opportunity to make that lane change before another car either does it or is, coming up your rear end to, pass everybody. So it hasn't been that great. If there is the perfect situation, navigate on autopilot with lane change confirmation works well. But in those situations where you need to get over relatively quickly, it necessarily didn't do the best job. And no, I didn't do it on Mad Max, because I know that's what some of you guys are gonna question down below. Is that, well, why don't you just turn on Mad Max and do that? Well, in a standard driving mode, you shouldn't have to do that. It should, initiate fairly soon once you hit the turn signal. For some reason, it does not always do it when you need it to do it at any given time. So today we're going to test those two things with 12.1.2 software update and see how the car does. All right, here we go. Let's get on the expressway here and let's get it all going. So remember, double tap down, get your TACC working, and then double tap autopilot. So we are completely engaged. We have our blue line here and it is picking up all lanes. And here shortly we should see and ask for a lane change. Expressway is very, very busy. We're down to 2 lanes right now. So we're going to see how well it does. There's not a whole lot of room to do anything right now, but we'll see. And you can tell here that all the exit on-ramp and exit ramps are all highlighted as part of the navigate on autopilot. Changing lanes into a faster lane, directional is on, but you can see the lane warning here and a vehicle that's red, so it knows that, hey, I can't get over right now, and it automatically canceled the lane change based on the information that it was receiving. So that's very good to know, because it gives you that comfort level that it is seeing the same things that you're seeing, and that you're not going to have the car just arbitrarily, do something that is going to put you in harm's way. So that was a very good sign to see. All right, here we go. It's sped up, lane change confirmation, turn signal, slowing way down, but it did do a good job of doing that. It sped up to my set speed, but didn't realize there was a car in the lane in front of me. It still made a very, very smooth transition from one lane to the next, and that's what I mean. It doesn't, there's not a whole lot of hesitation there, so it does get you over as quickly as it can once it identifies that the lane is clear. And here we go again. Up. Let's see if it does it. And there we go. Really, really nice and smooth. It accelerates when it needs to make that lane change, so it doesn't prohibit somebody from behind me having to slow down to accommodate my lane change. So it does a very good job. Very impressed. And then, of course, automatically turns off the turn signal and gets you up to your speed with no issues. Very, very smooth. I really, really prefer the lane change without confirmation versus the lane change with confirmation. Again, it's one less thing I have to do in the vehicle to make that lane change while on autopilot. So this is just really, really convenient. So right now it is taking us over and getting us out of the fast lane. And what it says is changing lanes out of the pass lane. The next test will be taking the off-ramp to another expressway. Typically, what I've seen when I was using Navigate on autopilot, it took the exit relatively abruptly. It would turn the turn signal on fairly last minute and do a quick right and a quick left to get centered back into the lane versus a gradual exit like we would normally do. So we're going to test that and see how well it does today. Let's see how it takes this exit ramp, usually fairly abruptly. Much, much smoother. Much smoother. Very, very impressed. Poor weather detected. Navigate on autopilot unavailable. Wow. Okay. That makes a lot of sense, folks. That makes a lot of sense, and really, really happy to actually see that. Because, you know, with road conditions, whether it's slippery or what have you, autopilot makes a wrong move or the car slips and you're not completely in control. Yeah, that's a big deal. Cameras are starting to see a little bit of distance limitations, and therefore it's like, yeah, we're not going to go ahead and continue. So let's see what happens. So I can still do autopilot, but it doesn't want to do Navigate on autopilot. That's amazing. Poor weather detected. That is simply amazing that it knows that. All right, so we just wanted to check out the web browser here, and it is so much faster, and it is so much more intuitive to use. Here's my YouTube page, and it launched just like that, just to show you how quick it actually is. Boom. So much faster. So much faster. Look at that. Unfortunately, you still can't play the video, but nonetheless, it is so much faster, folks. It is a little bit more intuitive. I do like the ability to be able to come in here when need be and search something that I need to. Look at that, Google. Well, stock's not doing too good, but you can see the browser interface is very, very cool. It is much faster than it used to be, and I am impressed with the update. So overall, thumbs up. All right, so there you have it, folks. There is the overview of the 2019.12.1.2 software update. So let me know what your thoughts are, specifically around the Navigate on autopilot without lane change confirmation. I feel, in my opinion, that this update is much better than the previous version with lane change confirmation. I just think it works a little more smoothly and is a little more fluid in its operation as far as what it's seeing around the car and how it interacts with the surroundings. So I feel that that update was huge. It still needs to be tweaked. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it is much better compared to operating the vehicle with lane change confirmation. Now, that's just my opinion. If you notice something different, please comment down below. Let me know what you've been experiencing and your thoughts as far as navigate on autopilot with or without lane change confirmation is concerned. Also, let me know what your thoughts are about the on-route battery warm-up, as well as the increased power on the supercharging up to 150 kilowatts. You did see that I was able to achieve 500 miles of charging per hour, which is absolutely fantastic. And I think this is just going to get better and better over time and allow us to charge our cars much faster. Hopefully maybe even down to 30, 35 minutes at some point very, very soon. And last but not least, let me know what your thoughts are about the Chromium update to the web browser. I think it is much faster than it used to be. And of course, that experience does enhance the overall vehicle, right? I mean, all these little updates make a big difference overall. So folks, thank you so much for tuning in. And please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe down below. We truly do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching our videos on the channel. And if you are looking to purchase an S3 or X, please use my referral code. I'm going to link that down below. And if you already have a Tesla and are looking for accessories to outfit your vehicle, check out Abstract Ocean. And if you are going to buy something, all you have to do is use the code THEBUZZ at checkout, and you will receive 15% off of your order. So thank you so much, folks, for tuning in. We truly appreciate it. Have a great night.